All right, so welcome to another episode of my Miller Green Music Podcast. We're down here in Trenton, Florida, visiting my son Jordan, and so I thought I'd take this opportunity to have a special guest, Cam Wheaton, a friend that Jordan has made and a fellow musician. Welcome, Cam.
Thank you.
And Cam's a full-time musician down here in Florida. He lives near Jordan here in Trenton, Florida, plays all over Central Florida. I'm no expert on you just yet, but I know you gig a lot, that's for sure. I mean, you'll see him gigging. He posts his gigs ahead of time, like for the month, and it's like 20, 25 gigs for the month or whatever. So he's the hardest working man in Central Florida. So, but Jordan's been lucky enough to accompany him on a couple gigs on bass, and hopefully with some more coming up. I know of at least one. So Cam, you're only 17 years old.
Yeah.
You're out of high school, gigging nearly every day. How long have you been playing, and how did you get this all started?
I got my first guitar when I was about 9. My grandpa bought it for me for Christmas.
Nice.
And the same year I got my drum set too, and I let them both sit for years. I never touched it. And then one day I just picked it up and I started.
Good for you.
I taught myself how to play, and I'm gigging for about 3 years now. I'm about a year and a half full time.
Gotcha.
Yeah, I'm loving it more and more every
So
day.
you started full time when you were 15, basically.
Yeah, to get my mom to drive me to my gigs sometimes.
You're playing in places, by the way, that you're not even allowed in.
Still not.
Still not. He's only 17. What, 18 in another month or so?
Yeah, next month.
Okay, good deal. All right, so your dad, Joey Wheaton, is a Berklee School of Music grad. You guys, I haven't seen it. Hopefully I get to see it today, but you have a full recording studio and all that fancy stuff in your house. Tell me a little bit about your dad and what he does musically.
He's done a couple projects, working for booking for restaurants and everything. But his main gig is recording bands and everything, and solo artists at the house. Sometimes I do a little session work for him too, lay down some guitar tracks. But
so basically a professional recording studio right there in the house.
Yeah, got a couple recordings out on Spotify that he's mixed down there. Both of my singles.
Good.
Mixed down there too.
Well, that brings me up with another one that I forgot to mention. That so you do have some original music.
Yeah.
Okay, cool. And it's out there, and you can find it on the usual channels and that sort of thing.
Anywhere you can stream music, you can find me at.
That's awesome. I'm going to check that out myself. Also, Jordan tells me you're very, like myself, very diverse musical taste or whatever. You can play just about anything. Not that I can play just about anything, but you like all kinds of music, I assume, which is good. That's a true musician. He tells me you're a big Foo Fighters fan. And unfortunately, we're all devastated with the death of Taylor Hawkins last year. Can you show everybody your memorial ink on the side there?
It's my first tattoo right here.
His first tattoo is a shout out to memorial to Taylor Hawkins. Good for you. So, and you mentioned the drums. So he's not only a guitarist and a vocalist, but he's a multi-instrumentalist, I assume. So you're a stellar drummer as well. And I know he plays gigs out playing drums for other musicians. Is that right?
Yeah.
You play a little bit of everything, I assume. So, good deal. I've been pestering Jordan since he came down here. He's lived here now for about a year and a half. My son Jordan, excellent bass guitar player. Wouldn't you agree?
For sure.
I'm biased, but yeah, it's good to hear another musician say that. But I've been pestering him to reach out and find musicians and play with them. It took him a while to get going, but he has recently, and he's connected with you and some others. Austin Hunter, for example, we had a gig the other night with him, and I get the vibe that actually your little circle of friends here, musicians, are good, not only good friends and not just a business thing, but lots of good camaraderie and that you enjoy each other's company. So that's the vibe I get. Is that true?
Not at all. No, I'm joking. Yeah, we definitely do. Yeah.
Nice.
It's definitely not just business. It's have a good friendship and everything going on.
Well,
too.
that's good. That means a lot to my wife's right over there. That means a lot to my wife and I that Jordan has that going, and I can tell it's a true thing. Right, Teresa? She shook her head, yes. So Cam, we'll wrap this up here pretty soon, but do some music. But do you have a plan? What do you think about where do you see yourself in a year, or 5 years, or 10 years, or next month, or whatever? And don't be modest, but you're 17 years old, and technically you're a professional musician right now. That's your job, and you do pretty well because you got a ton of gigs. But what's the plan moving forward?
Hopefully, I'll step away from the bar and restaurant scene and start getting some bigger gigs at some actual venues. People pay to see me rather than go out to eat and see music. I've got one or so a month, every other month or something, that I'm doing that already, opening for names. At Muscadine Bloodline, Craig Campbell,
Nice.
Kid G. Me and him opened for Alexander K.
Yeah.
A couple weeks ago.
Jordan got to play
show.
with that. Yeah, he's very excited about that.
So yeah, hopefully in the next couple of years I'll step away from that scene and go to
Good for you.
next step.
I can definitely see that happening. But, I've obviously seen him play in person a couple times, and he's the real deal for sure. So so anyway, thanks. As a matter of fact, Cam's on his way to a gig, so that's why we're kind of rushing through this. He's got, like I said, he's the hardest working man in Florida right now with music, but he's on his way to a gig. Thanks for taking time out for a quick episode of Miller Green Music Podcast. And to learn more about Cam and his music, you can do the usual social media channels and all that sort of thing. And I'll put them on the screen here at the end of the podcast. And stay tuned also for stick around, don't leave. We've got a little collaboration between myself and my son Jordan and Cam on a song here coming up right now. So thanks again, my man. Appreciate it. Good luck to you. See, that wasn't hard. Early in the morning when the sun will rise, laying in the bed with bloodshot eyes, late in the evening when the sun sinks low, that's about the time I rooster crows. I got women up and down the street, and they keep me going in my engine bleed. Run me ragged, but I don't fret, 'cause there ain't been one to slow me down again. Hit me drinking that moonshine, hit me higher than the grocery bill. Take my trouble to the high wall, throw 'em in the river and get your fill. We've been sniffing that cocaine, ain't nothing better when the wind cuts cold. Lord, it's a mighty hard living, but a damn good feeling to run these roads. I've got people try to sell me red, keep this living and you wind up dead. Cast your troubles on the Lord of Lords, wind up laying on the cooling road. I got buddies up the White House Road, and they keep me scrubbing when my feet hang low. Vodka, whiskey gonna ease my pain. All this run's gonna keep me sane. Get me drinking that moonshine, get me higher than the grocery bill. Take my troubles to the high wall, throw 'em in the river and get your fill. We've been skipping that cocaine, ain't nothing better when the wind cuts cold. Lord, it's a mighty hard living, but a damn good feeling to run these roads. It's a damn good feeling to run these roads. When you lay me in the cold hard clay, sing them hymns by the banjo blade, and tell them ladies that they are not frown, 'cause there ain't been nothing ever held me down. Lawmen, women on shallow graves, same old blues, just a different day. Get me drinking that moonshine, get me higher than the grocery bill. Take my troubles to the high wall, throw 'em in the river and get your fill. We've been